Was this game more about the Chiefs' comeback or the Texans' collapse?
Well, it has to be about the Chiefs' comeback. We can't deny that simply. When you score a touchdown on 7 straight possessions, after being up and being down, 24-0, and you end up outscoring a team in a playoff game 51-7 over 2 quarters, because that's what happened. I mean, I can't do anything to take away from what we saw from Patrick Mahomes, who was absolutely sensational. But we got to put this in perspective. I mean, Travis Kelce was targeted 12 times, had 10 catches, and the other 2 catches that he didn't get were drops. So he would have scored all 12 passes, because he usually doesn't drop passes. But he dropped 2 yesterday and still ran roughshod over them with a hamstring injury. You got Hardman, you got Hill, you got Watkins. I mean, Lord have mercy. This is the only thing I want to throw away, because I'm going to give it to you, Mac. This is the only thing I want everybody to understand. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. You know how I feel about that, brother. He's a bad man. Make no mistake. But especially considering what we saw in the Super Bowl last year, we got to be rooting for San Francisco against Kansas City. I mean, you got to, I'm talking about, if you want to look forward to a Super Bowl
against Green Bay, you're saying.
I'm saying, in other words, I want San Francisco to beat Green Bay. I want Kansas City to beat Tennessee, because I want to see Patrick Mahomes go up against that defense. That's where I'm at.
I'd rather see, well, but that's a whole other topic. I'd rather see.
You're a bad man against Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah,
Because I don't like the multitude of weapons that he has available to him compared to what San Francisco has available.
Look.
That's why.
Aaron Rodgers at his best. Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. Aaron Rodgers is the best of all time. When Aaron Rodgers was at his best, he had more influence over the outcome of a game than anyone in history, at least that I've seen. Yeah. Until Patrick Mahomes. So I'm not taking anything away from Patrick Mahomes. He is maybe Aaron Rodgers plus. Let's see him keep it up. But this is following an MVP season. First year as a starter. And unlike Lamar Jackson, he showed up in the playoffs. Tom Brady threw an interception to end that game, got it called back on a pre-snap penalty. Otherwise, Patrick Mahomes probably also wins the Super Bowl, at least gets there. And now he's doing this. It's insane. However, the door was left open by Bill O'Brien. Yeah. It was left open. You're up 21-0. Let me tell you something. Deshaun Watson has made I mean, even against the Bills, he had curious decisions not to go for it on 4th, and inches. Against the Bills, he made bad decisions. Deshaun Watson bailed him out because he's the magic man. And everything I just said about Patrick Mahomes, with the money on the line, I don't think I like anyone in sports more than Deshaun Watson. He's been amazing. But when you don't go for it 4th and inches, and then you fake a punt 4th down the next time from your own 31, just make the opposite decision, and maybe Patrick Mahomes still comes back to get you. But, man, you're going to make it hard for him. You're not going to leave the door open for him. That was a Houston collapse.
I totally agree with Stephen A. on this one, that it was the comeback from Kansas City, and here's why. It wasn't that Houston did anything to be up 24-0. It was a busted coverage with Kenny Stills running right down the field for a touchdown. Then it was a muff punt. If Houston showed up and they went 3 straight drives and then a field goal, get up 24-0, and they're dominating, then I would go with the collapse. But because it was Kansas City not even tying their shoes before the game starts, and they just busted over and over and over again, they didn't show up until finally they said, all right, we're going to strap it on, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why I'm going to go with the collapse.
I will say this, though, and Max, you actually forgot one thing. There was another 4th down play that Houston went for that Deshaun Watson had to convince Bill O'Brien to go for.
Right.
And then you got Bill O'Brien admitting, well, you know what? I mean, I wasn't prepared, essentially, on a 4th down play, which is why we decided to sit up there and go for it in our own territory. This is epic collapse, monumental to the point of 1993 when they were up 35-3 as the Houston Oilers and ended up losing to the, Houston rather, and they would end up losing to the Buffalo Bills. By the way, it might have been worse than that.
But you also have to understand, Bill O'Brien knows his secondary for 4 quarters was not going to be able to cover Kansas City.
How about 2? How about 2 quarters? Because they didn't show up anything.
Guys, let's put it this way. Is it fair to say this morning, because Deshaun Watson has to come out and support his coach, because there's sense that he might be fired, right? On a day after a playoff game where, based on the coach's performance, there's talk of him being fired, even though they had a lead on Kansas City. Isn't it fair to say that that's a collapse on their part? Like, would there be this talk?
Nobody's denying that it's a collapse. It's just that what do you walk away from thinking about more? I will tell you this. I will say this. I've made a lot of noise. I've made a lot of noise about a plethora of African Americans that are available for coaching openings, and obviously not one single African American got one of these head coaching jobs. Not that Romeo Crennel is a head coach, he's the defensive coordinator, and I respect the hell out of that man. But my God, is this a bad day for him?
Yeah.
You know, you're a defensive coordinator, you happen to be black, and you give up 51 points in 2 quarters. Okay, I mean, hey, if Bill O'Brien goes, he got to go too. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.